Hey people, I welcome you all to Carolines Online Academy, and we are now looking at how we are actually learning how to account for share capital using small concept problems. With each concept numerical, we are learning something new that would help us solve the big 6-mark questions that are asked in the exams, board examinations for CBSE Grade 12 accountancy. Alright, so in the previous video, we learned how to account for calls and arrears. In this video, we will learn how to account for calls and arrears when there is arrears from more than one shareholder. Okay, so when there is arrears from more than one shareholder, how to account for it? It's actually similar. You just have to keep track of the fact that more than one person has actually become a defaulter, and we need to account for that arrears also. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that now. I have a question for you that I'm going to read. Let me first delete all these things. It will help us redo the problem. Yeah. Okay. So calls and arrears with more than one shareholder. Vishnu Limited issued 1 lakh shares for rupees 100 each payable as follows. Application 25, allotment 30, first call 30, second call is remaining. The company received 1 lakh applications and allotted in full. One shareholder, Harini, holding 1000 shares, did not pay the first call, and Harshini, holding 2000 shares, did not pay the allotment money itself. Okay, so that is the situation now. How this problem is different from the previous problem is, in the previous problem, we only had one defaulter who did not pay first call, but in this problem, we have another defaulter, and that defaulter has not paid allotment money itself. So one shareholder has not paid from allotment money itself, whereas there is another shareholder who has not paid from first call itself. Let's see how to account for it without wasting much time. The issue price of the share is 100. We need to find out the amount that is due on second call, right? So the issue price of the share is 100. Along with the application, we receive 25. Along with allotment, we receive 30. Along with first call, we receive 30. And therefore, in total, we have received 85 with the application, allotment, and first call. And so we will be receiving 15 with the second call. So that we have found out. And now let's account for the issue of shares. Calls and arrears starts from allotment only. So it's only when we are receiving the allotment money that we need to account for arrears, because that is when we will come to know that it has been on arrears. So the other journal entries till then is going to be the same. Equity share application account, and that is how much, my dear children, number of applications received into number of shares, application money per share, that is 25 lakhs. Equity share application money received. Application received. The next journal entry would be to, we need to, next transaction would be, we need to check if there is any rejection in this question. There is no rejection. So it's allotment, and allotment, the first transaction is transferring equity share application money to equity share capital account, as all the applicants have now become shareholders. So equity share capital account, and that will be how much, my dear children? The entire amount, because we didn't receive anything extra or so. So shares allotted. All right, that's done. And the next thing that we need to do would be to make the allotment money due. Again, there is arrears and calls in allotment, but this entry does not change in any way. Only when we are receiving the allotment money, we'll have to make some adjustments for the arrears and calls in allotment. Okay. So yeah, so let's make the allotment money due. Equity share allotment account debit to equity share capital account. And that is how much, my dear children? I think it was 30 rupees in allotment, right? Yeah, so 30 rupees in allotment. Number of shares allotted into allotment money per share, so that will be 1 lakh into 30 lakhs. Allotment money made. So we're done with that. The next thing would be to receive the allotment money, and that is where we have a problem. The problem is that one person has defaulted, did not pay the allotment money. So whenever someone defaults, calls and arrears account will be debited. Why it will be debited, I explained in the previous video. In case you have not watched it, kindly check that out. Calls and arrears account debit to equity share allotment account. The shareholder who the amount that has to be credited to share allotment account will be the full amount that we made due, which is 30 lakhs. The shareholder who defaulted it is Harshini. So she was holding 2000 shares and she defaulted the 30 rupees she has to pay per share on the 2000 shares. The total amount of money that Harshini did not pay would be 2000 into 30, 60,000. The remaining shareholders paid, so you would have received all the other money. So the total of the money, total of the money that you have received is 29,40,000. That will be a share allotment money received. Alright, my dear children, once we have received the allotment money, the next thing that we need to do would be to make first call due, and we'll go ahead and do that. Equity share first call account debit to equity share capital account. Equity share first call made due. Now, the doubt that you might have is that Harshini has defaulted allotment money, so should we make first call due for her because she has not yet paid the allotment money, right? As I told you earlier in the previous video, also in the previous problem, when I was explaining all scenarios, Harshini is still the shareholder, though she has defaulted paying the previous call. They will still make the second call also due. I mean, the next call, subsequent call is also due for her, and then later we would add them to calls and arrears if she doesn't pay. Understood? So we make the entire amount due, including for all the shareholders, including Harshini. So that is 1 lakh shares, including Harshini's shares. And the amount due on first call was 30 from the question, if I remember correctly. So yeah, let's just check for your sake. First call is 30, so 30 into 1 lakh shares, the number of shares, total number of shares allotted. 30 into 1 lakh is 30 lakhs. The next thing to do would be to receive first call money. Now we know for a fact that Harshini did not pay allotment money and she hasn't paid first call also because the question does not mention anything otherwise. The question says that Harshini did not pay allotment money and did not say anything else. We're supposed to assume that she did not pay the subsequent calls also, so she would not have paid the first call. On top of that, Harini has also not paid the first call. So now we have two defaulters. One is Ashni and the other is Harini. What we need to do now is first we make the equity credit the equity share first call with the full amount due. And then we find out the total calls and arrears amount. Harshini had 2000 shares and Harini, who defaulted the first call money, had 1000 shares from what we read in the question, right? So 30 into, both of them did not pay first call, so 30 into 30 per share they did not pay. Am I right, my dear children? So 3000 into 30 per share. So that will be 3000 into 30. So 90,000 is the amount of money that we hadn't received when we received first call money. The total amount of money received by us would be the 30 lakh that we made due minus the 90,000 that we did not receive. So 29 lakh 10,000. Similarly, when we make the second call due, we want to make it due for all these shareholders, including the defaulters, because we are expecting to receive that money from them. So second call was 15 rupees per share, and 1 lakh shares will be 15 lakhs. And the amount that we did not receive was the 3000 shares. 1000 shares of Harini was defaulting, and 2000 shares of Ashini had also defaulted from allotment itself. So second call, 3000 shares they will not pay in second call, and for 3000 on the 3000 shares, 15 rupees was not paid. 15 rupees is the amount due on second call money. So 3000 into 15. 45,000 is the amount of money that we did not receive. So what we would have received is the amount of money that we made due totally, that is 15 lakh minus the amount of money that we did not receive, which is 45,000. That will be debited to bank account. Understood, my dear children? So with this, we have come to the end of this problem where we learned how to account for calls and arrears when there are more than one shareholders. I hope you understood this. Please like, share, subscribe, all that, because it's YouTube and you can support me by doing all of that. And in case you have any feedback, please do leave it in the comment section. We will take care. Have fun. We'll see you with another video, another small concept. Have fun. Bye.